One of my favorite things is looking back at our childhood movies and looking at, well, what was the lesson that we could have been learning as kids? And obviously, as you're a kid, you're watching this movie and you're just having fun. I don't really think you're like critically sitting and going, what was the lesson I learned from Oscar watching Shark Tale? But I think that's so fun when you're an adult and you can kind of look back and see how that fits into kind of learning about, well, what did society tell us that we had to be, the roles that we had to fit into? And that really screams with Shark Tale. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Oscar, but mainly I want to talk about the end of the movie. When you hear people talk about kind of like these fairy tale stories, right? We often see how this is kind of propaganda for putting women in a certain place, putting men in a certain place, and these false equivalencies that don't exist in real life, right? It is a fairy tale. Now, with Shark Tale, I want to talk about Oscar. He was betting money, investing in these get rich quick schemes. Try to say that 5 times fast. And he, of course, could not pay his boss back because none of them were successful, okay? He lived, I forget exactly where, but he lived in what would be equivalent of a lower income part of the reef, and he looked at the rich people and were like, that's gonna be me one day, okay? You could really tell throughout the story, and I really do encourage you to rewatch. Also, just enjoy the movies as is. You don't have to critically rewatch. It's just a good movie. Oscar really fights with, I'm not gonna be somebody until I am rich, right? What is the stereotype that he has felt as a manfish, that they have said, until you fit this mold, then you will not be worth anything? And you can really see how that low self-worth based off of where he is now and where he wants to be really hurts everyone in the movie, okay? Particularly Angie here. And Angie, okay, as opposed to Angelina Jolie, hot fish down here, okay? Y'all remember that. If you remember one thing about Shark Tale, you remember Angelina Jolie was the hot fish, okay? And listen, that's just what people remember. But Angie low-key had a crush on Oscar. I really don't believe that he didn't know that. But as soon as Oscar, of course, couldn't pay up to his boss that he owed money to, he gets beat up, okay? And Angie comes to the rescue. She gives him, okay, grandmother's pearl to say, hey, sell this off, pay him off, so you're okay. Okay, right? They're not dating, to be clear. They're not dating. She just does that because she's a good friend. But like I said, she does have feelings for him. Nevertheless, I want to say, and I will only note this, in Oscar's defense, when he gets rich, he does give it back to her, at least. At least. But he becomes what's known as the Shark Slayer, because he is captured one more time, getting beaten up by the jellyfish guys who work for the, what you call them, pufferfish. And, of course, sharks come in, the jellyfish run away, and Oscar is stuck in kelp, okay? This is where Lenny and his brother Frankie come in, which honestly, we don't have time to get into everything about Shark Tale, but love Lenny, okay? Love him. Frankie, the shark over here, he dies by anchor, okay? And obviously Lenny's freaking out, and Oscar says that he's gonna pretend that he is the one that killed the shark, okay? So when the jellyfish guys come back, they're like, oh shit, he took out a shark? Oh, we're not messing with him. If he can take out a shark, what's he gonna do to us? Where he becomes known as the Shark Slayer. Now, obviously, did he take out the shark? No, I just said he got hit by an anchor. Okay, Oscar did not take out the shark. But he's riding high, getting rich, getting sponsored by all these brands, pretending to be the Shark Slayer, right? And the whole thing is, he gets the money, right? He gets the hot Angelina Jolie fish, right? But he still doesn't feel good about himself, right? There was that false narrative that once I fit this mold that society has told me I need to fit into, and I achieve this, then I'll feel worth something, then I'll feel satisfied in my life. And he doesn't, right? So what does he do? He wants to get back with Angie. Now here's the thing. At the same time, this is where the mob sharks come in, okay? Obviously, Don Lino, okay? Basically the mob of the sharks, okay? Here's who's the Shark Slayer. We're gonna have somebody come after him. Now, the mob shark people know that Angie is someone who Oscar is close to, so they kidnap her. So now, thanks to Oscar's whole thing, he got Angie fucking kidnapped, okay? I'm sorry, I forgot a very important part. When Angie, rolling back now, gave him her grandmother's pearl to pay off his debts with, where did he go? He had to deliver it to the horse race, okay, the seahorse race. But did he deliver it to his boss? No, he bet and lost the money. So this is the level of disrespect, okay? You see what I'm saying? And at the end of the movie, everything's resolved. We figure it out. We learn a lesson. Like I said, you can rewatch the movie if you want to know the rest of it. But guess what? At the end of the movie, okay, Oscar, mind you, learned his lesson, but he was a liar the whole time. He was a liar the whole time, pretending to be the shark slayer, okay? When he didn't slay no shark, okay? He is not the Buffy Summers of the sea. By no means, okay? He got not only half of the car wash, which is, like, cute because he always said, like, hey, and this really it all goes back to childhood. Maybe if Oscar went to therapy, you know, he said he wanted to be, I forget, his father, like, worked in the car wash as, like, a tongue scraper, because they washed the whales, and he said he wanted to do that, and then he got made fun of, everyone laughed at him, and he felt ashamed for working at the car wash, even though, well, not a car wash, a whale wash, okay? It's where it all goes back to, guys. It's where it all goes back to. Right, so he gets half the car wash, sure, but also, like, you got to keep all the money that you got when you weren't even actually the shark slayer? That doesn't seem right to me. Okay, but my whole point of this is he gets the girl. He gets Angie. Angie gets back with him. He disrespected your nice gesture to say, hey, I don't want to see you hurt. Just pay off your debts with this, okay? Bet it on... you had no fucking reason to bet it on a fucking seahorse. Not only that, you fucking lost. Nevertheless, disrespectful. Okay? Then, you know, by association, got her kidnapped. And then said, oh, I'm sorry, guys, at the end. And you get the girl? It's just not right to me. It's just not right to me because I just think if a man has disrespected me like that, I'm sorry. I gotta go my own way. Like Vanessa Hudgens, okay? No, it ain't right. It ain't right. Angie should have never ended up with Oscar at the end of the movie. Okay? I am glad that he learned his lesson. But the problem is that men learn their lessons at what cost? Of the cost of everybody else. Right? And then he just gets to go back into society like nothing happened. Thanks, you learned your lesson. But all this other shit happened to everyone around you, no? I don't like it. I don't like it.